Let's rock this.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
I'm speaking to myself in the future.
Yeah?
Because we'll watch this back in years to come. We'll be like, this was a point where we blew up.
Every successful person has that, right?
That's right, man. Vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always loved looking back at like old vlogs.
Yeah.
Back when I was in like the bodybuilding thing,
Yeah.
I started this YouTube page and it was actually called Project Blessed. And it was supposed to be like this episode series that was kind of like envisioning the entire process from start to finish. And my goal was to eventually become pro. Obviously some things change in life and I decided to go a different direction, but I found some of those old videos recently, like within the last year. It's on some old laptop.
Yeah.
Man.
Gives you encouragement that
does.
anything's possible, because when you look back and see how much you've accomplished, it's impressive. And we oftentimes will look for all the things we've done wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're searching for things that go right and how much you've improved in the past 3, 4, 5 years, it can be, it's a snowball effect that anything is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah.
And at the time when you're recording it too, you're thinking to yourself like, what the heck am I doing?
Exactly.
Like
A lot of self-doubt.
yeah. Like you feel weird being in front of that camera or taking that progress picture or, you know, wherever it is. And then you look back years later and you're like, man, I'm actually really glad I did that.
There's and other people that watch those videos may think the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them will actually get encouraged and be like, I should be doing what he's doing. Yeah. And so it's just, there's a scripture in the Bible that says from glory to glory. And it's like everything you do is like, God is leading you from glory to glory, and anything is possible. So keeping that mindset in mind of like what you're doing right now, it won't be what you're doing in the future. Mm-hmm. It's building blocks. It's understanding where you're going. Yeah. But you got to see the vision from the start.
Have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And can't get too caught up on the haters on the way.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't matter.
Yeah. Kind of an interesting psychology thing that ties into all that. I can't remember who this was. It was when I was creating that video series, right? Mm-hmm. And I had a friend at the time that was kind of successful. I think he was at like close to 10,000 followers on Instagram. Didn't have as many followers on YouTube, but he was up and coming. And I was asking for advice. I was like, how do you do this? You know, where do you start and stop and stuff? And he said, he made it really simple, but he told me the biggest thing that you're going to get caught up on, which is what everyone gets caught up on, is pull up the most famous song you've ever heard of that you can think of in your mind that you relate to. Like what's like the most iconic song ever. So I pulled up something by like, I don't know, Drake or something like that. Right. And he goes, now pull up the video. How many views does it have? And I'm like 124 million, something crazy. And there's the like and the dislike button. And he says, what will happen to creators or entrepreneurs or anybody that's a visionary to any aspect is they'll see that like button, but then they'll associate themselves to that dislike button. Yeah. So let's say you have 10,000 likes and you got 12 dislikes. Yeah. Those 12 dislikes are going to stick more with you.
Caught up.
Yeah. And not progress forward because of it.
I thought back in 2011. I remember the date, 2011 or 2012. When you go to a cat, I was explaining this. If you go to a cat video on YouTube,
okay,
a playful cat video, how many thousands of dislikes there are? And it's like, how could you dislike that? It's just a cat playing. But it just proves the point. Some people want to see the world burn. And I don't want to be around those people. Yeah. So therefore, I'm going to do my thing. Yeah. And you do yours. Yeah.
You gotta kill them with love and kindness, right?
Yeah. Just you don't even think about them. Like, don't even think.
A cat video?
Yeah. I mean, look it up.
Hated cat. Yeah. I mean, some people are more dog people, I guess. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Ben. So honored to be here, man. Honored to sit in front of you. I know your schedule gets busy, but basically the premise of kind of what I wanted to ask you some questions about was Roof Tiger.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how old are you now?
35.
35. Mm-hmm. When you turn 36?
March.
I'm going to get you a cat.
Thanks, man. I already had two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, mid-30s, what month, day did you start Roof Tiger? Like if somebody was walking through the door right now and wanted to know, what's the backstory? Like, who are you? Like, why did this start? How did this start?
Sure.
Where were you at? Like, what is it?
August 1st of 2020 is when I started Roof Tiger. I became Benjamin Tiger somewhere around March in 2020. I worked for a contractor for 3.5 years. Worked for a solar company for 6 months. So I had about 4 years of contracting experience. What I found out is that contractors are generally good at constructing stuff, but they're not very good at sales and marketing, which is what I do. And so I started the company with the premise to be different and to have a very loud, obnoxious, fun marketing sector of our business. but then have salespeople like yourself do their job exceptionally well. And when people feel like they've been taken care of in the sales process, generally speaking, the construction process is easy, especially in roofing and solar, because everything's on top of your roof and you don't look at that every day. I'll give you a dichotomy. When I worked in bathroom sales, and people live in their bathrooms, it's the first place they go to in the morning, the last place they end up at night, right? And so they're looking at your craftsmanship and your quality every day for 10 years. And so you got to be perfect. Not to say roofing, you don't want to be perfect. You want to be really good, but you can have minor things go not perfect and still have a very, very solidly built roof. So the construction process should be simple, but leading up to the communication of everything with the sales rep to the production manager to the finance division needs to be seamless. And so we've really built a company based on the customer experience in that way. So for somebody coming in new, watching this video, your job is to really set the tone for the customer of what they're about to experience with Roof Tiger. And it should be something where it's kind, it's refreshing, it's communicative, it's fresh and fun. Yeah.
So kind of like another angle, because I think about it from being in the sales field and working for you, is like, you know, when you're meeting with consumers of your product, people that have a need and they're outreaching to you. When you think of contractors, what do you generally think of? Yeah,
not very good.
Yeah.
Chief and Sigs showing up stinking, taking forever to get back to. I'll get that bid back to you in a week. You know what I mean? We live in a fast generation, so our salespeople need to be the front line of communicating quickly, efficiently, boldly, and generally representing the company well. And then everything after that's pretty simple.
Yeah. So, well, as you know too, of course, we're at a stage where we're growing. And we're needing more. Right? So more clients are calling in, marketing's working, our word's getting around, Google reviews, what are we at, like 350 plus?
341.
341?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And the solar reviews are coming in too.
60 some,
Yeah. And all, I think on average, like 4.9 out of 5, right?
4.9 for Roof Tiger, 5.0 for Solar Panther. Yeah.
That's remarkable.
It is.
It is.
Testament to our team.
Yes. So we're clearly growing. I'm sure that this content will come out to people that have either been just onboarded with us at the time, or maybe they're seeing it in some sort of ad or a social media post, or maybe got texted to them or something like that. And I think there's a lot of people, and I can be an attestament to this, working with you for over a year now, and thinking about it before I became part of the team, is there is actually a lot of people out there that do want more in their employment. There's a lot of people that are truly yearning for more, searching for more, regardless of your age, regardless of what income you currently make, whether it's a lot or a little or somewhere in between. I think everyone is trying to find that place where it's a mix between culture, compensation, and quality. Culture, compensation, and quality.
Well put.
So I can speak for my own personal life. I don't want to overspeak too much on myself on this. I really want you to kind of share more as we dive into this. But that's where we're at. And so when this gets to these people and they finally see this content and they're getting that first overview of like, what am I applying towards, or what did I just become a part of? I want them to hear it from you directly of how much of a difference it is.
Yeah. I started out my career at Verizon Wireless, was a sales rep in 4 walls and spent 8 to 9 hours every day in a building. And that to me was like a prison. Although I respect Verizon and I love the process of being trained as a sales rep, it started my career off. But when I started working in contracting, it's based on appointments and based on what I can produce versus how much time I spend. And so the better I got at my job, the more money I made. And so there's a lot of freedom in that when you sell a contract, you know what money you make, and it gets addicting, where it's fun and addicting, where the mentality quickly shifts from how much time am I spending to how much money I'm making. And that whole mentality shift, you're actually willing to work more and harder because you know the end benefit will make you more money. Yeah. So I wanted to give my sales reps and my team freedom. Number one. I want you to love where you work and be a part of a culture where you feel like you're growing. That's 2. So freedom and growth, and then compensation is 3rd. So it's like you're going to make money from doing those 2 things first. Some people, money is not their main motivator. It's growth and freedom, right? Or freedom and growing as an individual. So it's like you have to find a balance of who people are and put them in positions to succeed. And so for the sales rep that's walking in here, that's working with us or potentially working with us, that's what we offer. And I think that I have a lot to offer as a CEO, and we have people in this office, including yourself, who have a lot. You can learn a lot from these people. And so being in this culture and just seeping knowledge through watching people work is very fun, as opposed to feeling like I gotta go check in today, I gotta go clock in. No, man, no. Yeah. You will only get you will only get out what you put in. So I'm willing to invest my time and my energy and my resources in people that are willing to say the same.
I find it very interesting that you and I both came from the retail space.
Yeah.
So did Adam too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So a lot of us actually in the sales team and the marketing team came from the retail space prior to this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a guy that we have that we're still in the training process of right now, Clayton, that's coming back. Interesting because he kind of came from the retail space before too, that I helped him out with as far as getting onboarded into the retail world. And the main distinguishment between it is when you're in retail, it's sales and customer service. And let's say you discover a craft or a knack at it and you're good, you're stuck within that brick and mortar space.
That's right.
So those four walls are kind of what that imprisonment type of feeling comes to.
Yeah. You quickly come to that when you work in retail.
Yeah. So for the new person that might be watching this or just got hired on, the beauty of this industry that I've personally come to find is it's as far as you want to take it.
That's right.
And so you can go out anywhere, anytime and find clients because there's somebody that needs your help.
That's right.
There's somebody that needs your help.
And let me hit on that real quick, Noah. That's the reason we started the company is like helping the public and being transparent in our process and generally being a business worth something. And so like you can only be worth something if you're valuable to the public and they see you as a net benefit. And so that's what we want to offer is like we're doing a hard trade. Roofing's not easy. You're dealing with insurance companies. You're dealing with hard customers. It's not an easy thing, but ultimately your job is really valuable because you're helping people do something that they don't know how to do themselves. So building up that knowledge base and putting the time and effort to learn it is a great skill.
Yeah.
It's a great skill.
Yeah. I've had grown men in tears. I'm not exaggerating, in tears by the time we were done with the process.
Yeah.
Because they didn't even know what a hail claim was.
Yeah.
They didn't even know that existed.
Right.
They didn't know.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, and now they're sitting with a check with $26,000. And the only thing they have to pay is $1,000 deductible.
Right.
Like, how in the world are you telling me that all of this is going to be done and all I have to pay is $1,000?
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
No.
I'm like, this is what we do.
Yeah.
You got a hold of the Tigers or the Tigers got a hold of you.
It's education to the customer. It's being transparent and then guiding through the process. And then after it's done, hopefully we get that 5-star review. We get that 5-star service. And then guess what they do? They tell their friends and family. Yeah. And then guess who they come to? You.
Yeah.
And they say, I've got a guy who can help you. Yeah. So people who are outside the industry who come in, it's like a light bulb goes off at some point. It's like, oh, wait, I have unlimited income? Yeah.
Yeah.
I have unlimited opportunity to make money? Yeah. So go get it. So we're looking for somebody, if you're watching this and you're somebody who's a go-getter, who's wants to talk to people and help people, who has a generally caring attitude and wants to be around a culture of growth, you've come to the right place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be transparent on them, Ben.
Yeah.
Can I get transparent?
Sure.
Is Tiger Talk a place I can do that?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Let's do the real Tiger Talk too. All right. Yeah. It's, I mean, there's different personality types, right?
Yeah.
And some people just are built a little bit different. And I think that some people in life would be better suit for a brick and mortar style job. But truly, if you are looking for something that, you know, if you find, and I'm kind of speaking to a mirror on this, where you're going through these different processes of life and you're trying these different jobs and maybe you tried school or for me, even the military and all these different things. And it's just, you can see pros to it, but it's just not meshing well for you.
Sure.
You are stepping into an industry, I cannot put it any more clearly, where you have ultimate freedom. When I wake up today, some days I don't even know what the heck I'm going to do. It just compounds.
Yeah.
Like I never know when that phone's going to go off, and I live for it.
Yeah.
I love it because I can create something at any time.
That's right.
At any time, and well compensated for it. But it's not like you're going to make, if you're going to come to this industry and you think you're going to make $1 million or be some fly by night, you know, solar salesman or roof salesman, and you're going to be making $20,000 commissions on every close. No, that's not how it works. But but you are going to get paid a chunk. But what you don't realize yet until you actually get grounded into the industry and kind of get your bearings is that it's going to compound. And you're just going to be closing deals left and right, taking care of people, and they're going to be happy, and the word's going to spread. And like you told me, you remember, you're smiling because I know you can remember this. When I first got hired on, it was like a month in, and I was starting the training process, and I looked at you and I was like, Ben, I don't know. I don't know. And you're looking at me, you're like, Noah, the only way that you're going to fail is if you quit.
That's right.
It's the only way.
That's right.
It's the only way.
That's what we're looking for, people generally younger. Because if you're a seasoned, 40-year-old person, not to say we wouldn't accept that, but if you have your mindset on a certain thing in a certain way that's going to work, it's probably not the right thing for you. Having an open mind to seeing where this path takes you, stepping left, sometimes stepping right. I love the word freedom because I want to give people freedom. That's generally what people want. Number one in their life. It's like next to compensation. It's I don't want to be told what to do all the time. Correct me if I'm wrong, Noah. I don't really talk to you very frequently about your jobs.
I mean,
now that you've become on your own. And that's how I prefer it. Not because I don't want to talk to you, but because I want to leave you alone. Do your job, man. I trust you. I trust you. So I want to be able to build up trust in people that they can handle stuff on their own. They don't need managers and upon managers figuring stuff out. Now, we do have support staff that can answer anything you throw at us because we've done this so many times. But that freedom is what people want. They want to go home and feel like their time is respected and they're compensated well. That's because they're doing a good job. Yeah? That's very valuable. It's extremely valuable to be told, I trust you and you can do it.
I remember in the beginning, we talked quite a bit because I was in the training process, still getting acquainted with the company and stuff. But then, think about it over last summer. There was like 2 months out of the summer that we really saw each other maybe twice. Because when we come back for a sales meeting and be like, oh, no,
how you doing?
Yeah, 372,000 last month. I'm like, okay, well, I guess he's doing okay.
You're doing good. Keep going.
Yeah.
I saw a post from somebody in a different company who said, how often is it acceptable to see your sales reps or to meet with your sales reps? And they're like, one person posted, I haven't talked to my number one sales rep in 3 months. And it's okay because that person's on his role and he's working his jobs and he's doing great and I'm applauding him along the way. But you don't have to see people all the time and check in with them and have meetings every 2 days to figure that out. No, I trust you, man. And I trust you doing your own thing. And by the way, I take the stance of like unlimited vacation. Take vacations. By the way, enjoy your family. Enjoy yourself. This life is worth living. I am not in the business of micromanaging your schedule because I have 3 kids and a wife that I have to invest into as well. I expect you have the same, or at least want the same of like a family you want to invest into. So life is not just about how much money you can make and how much you can work. It's about investing in the relationships that matter. It's about becoming a man you're proud of. And we give that opportunity here for people.
Yeah. So I kind of want to get into like some specifics with that, right? So, there's basic things to a job that you kind of have to attend to, right? You have a meeting, obviously we've got to attend to that, team lead meetings and stuff like that, trainings and all that type of stuff. You have questions or you're not understanding something fully. Well, we need to actually set aside time to come back to the office and meet with leadership to go over those roles and responsibilities so you can understand it more, right? So that you can effectively go back out and have that freedom again to do what you need to do and be knowledgeable on your craft.
Sure.
Right? Okay. So there's those kind of just basic things that just come with employment 101. But as far as like a day-to-day, you're talking freedom. So what is it that somebody's going to find themselves doing specifically in this?
Yeah.
Like you got hired, now what?
Yeah. We'll take you through a Tiger Boot Camp to kind of lay out the specifics about who the company is, who we are as people, what your job responsibilities are for a sales rep. Generally, door knocking is a very good way to get clients. And generally, once you get clients, getting referrals from those clients is really valuable. Also, we have leads that come in. Generally, we reserve leads for people who are very experienced, so you're not misspeaking or saying something that's not real. So we want to take our time to make sure you understand your job before we full press to go out in the field. But generally, we're looking for people who can take the first step and are not scared to learn something new. Generally, people do not know door knocking when they first show up. So showing them what it's like to be a door knocker, to be a salesman in general, to how to communicate. But just think with me, if you have a neighborhood full of 40 houses and those 40 houses have hail, if you knock on a door and get one client from there and we build out the roof within a week or 2 weeks or a month, Think about the power in that. You can go back to every other house and point to the other house down the street and say, we just did that house and I'm telling you this process works. You can sign up too. And so having a strategy around where you knock, what times you knock, what you say. Noah's obviously very versed in that. And so, but it's part of the job of being forward in your job. You're not sitting back just waiting for phone calls to come in on day one. You're getting after it and then learning. And then as we trust you more and as you learn more, we can pass you leads.
Yeah. And you hit on a key point there, because that's when the light bulb like really clicked for me.
Yeah.
That's when that scarcity scared itself away in me, for lack of better words, is there's always a hail pocket somewhere, right? So if Roof Tiger, Solar Panther, soon to be Gutter Lion, is in the Peoria Heights market,
it's launched. Gutter Lion's live.
Oh, okay,
It's live, baby.
Live.
Already have 50 searches on Google.
I love it.
Yeah.
So if we're in the Peoria base, we usually branch out within a 75-mile radius of Peoria.
Yeah.
That's typically about our proximity zone as of right now. There is always going to be hail that happens somewhere. And I remember I was just like, man, I got the job. Okay. We have to replace roofs. That makes sense. We offer solar. That makes sense. I get it. Okay. But like, how does this actually work? And speaking on what you're talking about is when this hail comes in, you're going there, providing an inspection. And then once you find that there's hail on this house and it's enough to warrant a warranty claim, which you'll learn more of that inner workings and process.
An insurance claim.
Right.
Yep.
Or excuse me. Thank you for the correction. Insurance claim. And once you learn the specifics of what's worthy of calling in an insurance claim and what's not worthy of calling in an insurance claim, and let's say for the sake of conversation, okay, inspect this house and it is worthy of calling in an insurance claim and that gets covered, you just found yourself in what we call a pocket.
A pocket, gold mine.
Gold mine.
Yeah.
Honeypot.
Honeypot.
So
40 houses, guys, let's think about this. $20,000 times 40 houses is $800,000 in potential revenue.
Yes.
If you get all of them to sign up, okay? The amount of money you can make on that is a lot. And so you have to understand that once you find one, you can find many, and finding those pockets is really valuable. So our team really is always researching potential places where we can knock and go find more business. And then the individual rep will essentially partner with that team to say, I can go find these people. So it's the freedom to work your own schedule, yes, but there's a whole lot of hard work that goes into finding those pockets. And so you've got to work really diligently to understand the insurance industry, how it relates to roofing industry, how it relates to the policies people sign, and then also for solar, what is good for solar people and for people buying renewable energy, also their gutters. So let's take it back a step. When I first got into the trades, like most trades operate the exact same. It's finding a customer, and then it's it's preparing the materials, and it's building the job.
Yeah.
Marketing comes before that, but sales is really where we're going to focus on here. In the roofing industry, we're in a very special industry because insurance policies pay for replacement of the roof if damage from hail, what we call an act of God, happens. So when hail or wind happens, it's catastrophic. Insurance companies will pay the customer to replace it. That's what an insurance policy is all about. So essentially finding out where damaged roofs are to then replace, that's your job.
And then once you find that there's one, there's oftentimes more.
Many.
Yeah.
And if the hailstorm's bad enough, you'll have some competition. That's what we're all about, baby. Competing in the marketplace. Yeah. Generally speaking, Noah, roofing contractors don't think of these things. They go into business. They're just like, let's just start a company. So you have people that start a company, they're not necessarily businessmen. I consider myself a businessman. And so understanding multiple different trades in a business of finance, capital, how money moves, marketing, all that stuff you don't have to worry about. We got that. We got that. Your job is singular. Finding a client that needs our help, signing them up with a contract, and we'll take care of the rest.
You got it.
That's it.
That's
simple.
That support staff comes into play.
That's simple.
So yeah, there's a lot of freedom that's on your own, but you have that backing support staff to help you.
What we're looking for, Noah, is generally people who have a high motor. Do you have a high motor to succeed in life? If you do, I can teach you, Noah can teach you, Adam can teach you a lot of things. But you've got to have a high motor to try to understand them.
You've either got to want more, and that's just kind of a life thing. Yeah.
Generally speaking, Noah, you and I talk about this stuff all the time, personal development, right? It's like this industry gives you the ability to learn about yourself. You know,
Mm-hmm.
don't you find that to be true after 1 year? Yeah.
So true. I told you what I said to you the other day. I said, Ben, I came here to sell roofs, but I didn't walk out thinking I was going to come to Jesus.
That's right, man. It's like, this is life.
It is.
Yeah, you're going to dedicate a large portion of your life to work.
Yes.
So let's make it fruitful. Let's make it high compensation, and let's make it something that you're building toward.
Mm-hmm.
And all these skill sets that I learned in the contracting trade, I don't think young people understand it unless they're into it. But then once you get it, you can't run away from it. Yeah. I don't know there's another industry I want to be in right now.
Yeah. I'm not going anywhere. I can tell you that.
Stay here. Just keep learning.
Yeah.
There's people making millions of dollars in this industry. So we just have to copy those people and their skill sets and their trades and keep rocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, once you get onboarded, if you were to be hired, the Tiger Boot Camp, going through the training with meeting the cats, meeting the team here. You like
Big
that?
Cats, yeah.
Meet the cats.
That's
right. Yeah. You'll learn a lot and I'll answer a lot of your questions. But what I just don't want is how many times do we look up on YouTube and see some advertisement that says, oh, make big money, do this. And Grant Cardone saying, you need to buy this property.
Yeah.
And all this stuff is I really want to be transparent.
Yeah.
You get into this industry, you go out there, you find a roof that has hail damage, find that it's within a hail pocket. Keep in mind, you have a support staff and team that's helping guide you in those directions.
Yes.
We have a team on the back end that is doing surveys to find out where this hail is at all times. So it's not like you're just go out there and do it all yourself. There's a lot of support in the way. What you need to come with is bring that grit and that tenacity. If
somebody has an attitude to succeed, they will succeed.
Yes.
But if you have an attitude that everyone's going to be served up on a silver platter, I don't want that person. You're not cut out for the job. And there's certain people are just not cut out for this job. It's difficult in the sense that your mind has to stay sharp, that I will succeed. If I can feel that from somebody, I'll press into them. But if somebody shows weakness in the sense that like they want everything and everything that ends in a Y, on their platter, it's like, I'm not into that. I'm sorry. You've got to bring a level of tenacity and I'll match that tenacity, but you got to be ready to work.
How familiar are you with David Goggins?
Oh yeah.
You like him?
Yeah, very familiar.
Who's going to carry the boat?
Who's going to carry him, baby?
Have you ever read his book, the first one?
I have not.
Can't Hurt Me?
No. I've heard excerpts, yeah.
Okay. Well, in March, I'm not getting you a cat. I'm getting you the audiobook.
Okay, nice.
I'm buying it for you.
Only the audio version.
Yes.
I've heard it's very good.
It's very good. Yeah. Specifically the audio version, side note, but because he treats it as not only reading the book, but he's also doing it on a podcast. So it's like you're getting the reading from the book, but you're also getting commentary outside of it. So David will particularly chime in on things and give you extras about where he was when he was writing it and all these types of things that you really learn more of an insight into him.
It's awesome.
It's a beautiful, beautiful book. But in the very beginning introduction, it's the only thing I'll tell you. And I'm going to paraphrase this, so don't take me as gospel.
Literal, yeah.
But he says something about a quote that he referenced in the introduction. He said, if there's 100 people on the battlefield, 90 of them shouldn't even be there. 9 of them are the fighters, but one is the true warrior that leads the pack.
That
guy, that dog, that cat. And that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
And that's what we talk about with that life development. And there's more things. If you're scared and if you think, man, I don't have what it takes, but you have the potential and we can see it in you, good. You should be scared because you're pushing outside your boundaries. So it's that fine line of just truly accepting that maybe you're not cut out for something like this, and then don't do it. But if you have questions about yourself, I'm the top salesman here. Yeah, I am. I've earned that respectfully to say so. And I was scared to all get out. I mean, I was scared. Yeah. And you just have to do it. Just put yourself in it and do it and push.
Do it. What's holding you back? What's holding you back?
Yeah.
What's holding you back? Yeah. Is it your own fear that you can't succeed? And so, by the way, I had that fear 4 years ago, but I pressed through it, and it's a beautiful thing what we've built here. But I went through a very difficult time in my life 6 years ago, and I lost pretty much everything that I had. And it taught me a lot about life. But the main principle I took out of it was taking accountability for my own life. This is my life. And every decision I make is on me. It's not, I didn't succeed because 6 other people didn't do their job. That's hogwash. You have a responsibility to yourself and to the people you care for in your care that you're going to figure it out. And so when you come to this business, it's a shared responsibility to finding out how we can help each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, you're going to give me a job, you're going to give me all these things, and I'm going to do well because you set me up. Sure, we're going to set you up for success. But I want that level of tenacity in every sales rep we hire. It's a very unique person who's going to walk through that door that I give those opportunities to.
Yeah. So tying it back into the specifics again.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So you go out, you find that house,
Yep.
you have that hail. Think about this with me, guys. This is the industry 101.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you the secret sauce. That gets covered by insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Sign goes up. They're happy. Roof Tiger's marketed.
Mm-hmm.
Then what happens? We get that roof done quickly in a good turnaround time frame.
Yep.
Paid out. They're happy. All they had to pay was their deductible.
Right.
That was it.
Yep.
They have this beautiful house that looks brand new now with this brand new fresh roof on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's done.
Yep.
Now you have leverage to be able to communicate with the neighborhood to say, hey, here's proof of concept that I did it.
Yep.
It does work. Do you know Joe and Susie down the street?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. My kids play baseball with them, blah, blah, blah. Boom. That's it.
Yep.
That is the kick. That's the ticket to how this industry works. It's really that simple.
A sales rep job is simple but difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And running a business where you have multiple different things going on with finance, with collection, with production, with management of personality, let that burden be mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Your job is really singular in the sense of you're growing revenue, not only for yourself, but for the business. And if you can prove to do that, there's no shortage of opportunity you'll have.
The rest is just growth along the way.
It's growth, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll learn about things when it comes to just sales and socializing with people.
Yeah.
And really how to listen to somebody and meet the needs that they're actually requesting, read between the lines on things. Those are all skill sets you'll learn over time. But from a basic principle, can you get out there? Can you get in the community? Can you provide the service that people don't even know that they necessarily need yet?
Yep.
Can you present the problem that they don't even know they have and fix it for them?
That's right.
That's it.
That's it.
Do
That's
it
really
again
simple.
And again and again.
Yeah. And what I will say is just, we're hiring, we're in growth mindset. And by the way, like I have learned just as much from you as I've distilled in you, Noah. It's fun for me to learn. I'm a lifelong learner. Mm-hmm. I don't know everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the first one to say it. So I'm not some boss saying like, oh, pressing through. I'm learning from my people just as much as I'm teaching. So it's beautiful for me because when I surround myself with personalities in that same mindset, it's amazing, man. I get to learn from people and learn their background and learn how they operate, how they tick, what their incentives are. And it's fun, man. And we become friends. We become partners together in this.
Do you see yourself as you've developed in this industry more of like a life coach than you are a boss?
Yeah, life coach to myself, to my own family, and to a lifelong learner. I'm learning just as much as I'm teaching. So I see myself as how God sees me, is the valleys have been made high and the mountains have been made low. Everybody's in the same platform. So we can't look down on people. We have to see everybody as we have the potential to be great. And so Jim Rohn has an amazing quote. You're not who you want to be because you haven't become who you need to be. So become that person and everything flows from that pace.
Say that again. Say that again.
You don't have what you want to have because you haven't become who you need to become to have it. You've got to become the man before those things come to you. So it's this mindset of I'm not there yet. And even I'm not there yet, Noah. As successful as this place is and as cool as this place is, I'm not there yet. And I'm never going to be there. It's every day taking a step forward.
If these mics weren't on stands, I'd be like, that'd be a mic drop situation.
Yeah, man. So we're looking for people that generally want to succeed in life. And the business that we offer is just a subset of that. You're successful financially. You're successful in your family. You're taking a step forward and owning your time. And also just, growing. Growth, man. Growth is the answer.
Let's speak compensation for just a quick second. How much does somebody make? How much can somebody make in this industry?
Typically, the payouts are, there's a percentage of each sale that you get.
Okay.
And the percentage varies based on experience, but generally between 5 and 10% of every contract you sign, you will be awarded in a commission. And so the better you get, the more money you make and the more trust you have. And so if leads are given to you versus the ones that you produce, there's typically less commission there, and because we're producing the lead ourselves. And so the amount of money you can make, I'd say accurately for a first year sales rep, something around 80 grand is what you want to budget for. And so $1 million in the roofing industry is not that much money in revenue. But if you think about a roof that's $15,000 or a job that's $15,000, you need to sell roughly, 70, 80 jobs to make that money. Yeah. So it's not that much to do it. And by the way, we're generally doing this in 9 months. So 3 months of the year, you're generally in the cold, in the winter, where you don't work as much. And so we generally do a lot of resetting, refreshing in the wintertime, and then really going full bore starting March 1.
Yeah. Yeah. March 1 hits. Say goodbye.
Bonkers. Yeah. Your mind is focused on roofing for the next 9 months.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But it's a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
Oh man.
The time moves pretty dang quick.
When that sales chat starts blowing up and we got 5 deals closed in a day, it's like,
let's go.
We got it.
Let's go.
Another one.
Yeah.
Another one.
So we're looking for that guy. If this is you, if I'm speaking to you, you're looking for people who would like to work out, because working out and seeing body changes and seeing those things is kind of hand in hand.
Yeah.
People who are former military, people who maybe have a career in sales right now, but they're not really happy with it, whether it be retail or even a bartender or a waitress. Right? Those are all things, or a waiter. Those things are all sales jobs in a sense.
Yeah.
So you're looking for people who are self-starters and who have a growth mindset that maybe they're not giving themselves to all they can. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I could think of some other things too. Maybe if you were prior construction,
Yeah.
You did the construction trades, but you've learned the ins and outs of it. You feel like you have the sociability aspect. You've communicated with a lot of clients in the past, and you understand the generals of construction maybe, and you want to switch over to the sales side.
And I'd say, just from an attitude perspective, you're not scared to take a little bit of a chance. I'm not promising that everybody's going to make 6 figures in this company. I can assure you that most people will, if they put forth the effort that we guide them with. If they put forth effort and we give them the tools, 6 figures is pretty common in this industry. So this is not a job where you're going to make $30,000. If you're making 30 grand, you're probably better off somewhere else. Yeah.
This is true.
It's a higher end compensation, but a very specific person we're looking for. Yeah.
I'd say one of the last key things that also shifted with me is when you think about it from this way. Yes, technically the position is sales, right? Or custom field representative, whatever you want to call it. But when you shift your mindset from being a salesman to being a servant, from sales to servant.
Looking somebody in the eyes and telling them the truth that this may or may not be approved. We're going to work our butts off to do it. Like being real to customers. Customers pick up on that. Homeowners pick up on that.
Yeah.
They just want to know that their most valuable possession, which is their home, is being taken care of by someone who gives a crap.
Yeah.
That's it. That's like 101 right there.
Yeah.
And if you can convey that trust and have the cojones to speak boldly, people will follow you. Yeah.
Yeah. I can remember back to an actual situation. You and I attended this appointment, beautiful house in Peoria. Yep. And they were going to get this is a solar. It was a solar/roof. They ended up getting the roof from us, but they were going to get decent offset, but it wasn't enough. They didn't have enough yard space. And, we could have, it would have been somewhat incentivizing for it. But I remember you looked at them, and we're talking like $100,000 contract for solar. And you looked at them and said, don't do it. Yeah. Because it just didn't make sense for them. No. So you have to have that goes back to that servant mindset of, are you servicing them? Are you servicing them? Are you being honest? It's a long-term output. Okay. Did we lose $100,000? Maybe, or lose a certain percentage of that? Maybe. But am I going to bed at night, sleeping well, knowing that I told the truth? Yeah. Is that person going to go to their friends and say, these guys are honest? Yeah. Yeah. So long-term honesty and truth always wins. And the opposite is also true, Noah. If you're fibbing to people and lying to people, it will come back to you. It will. It will. So be truthful, be honest, be upfront, and let the cards fall where they may. Yeah. Yeah. And then the other part of being that servant, when we're talking about roofing and all the other things that we offer here, these people, you have to keep in mind, have a particular need. Yeah. If their roof does not get serviced, if their gutters are not draining properly, if they don't get those guards and it's a 2-story house and they have to clean out those leaves every year, what then? What then? What then? Yeah. What if the father of, the family falls off a ladder because he has to, clean these leaves out of the gutters because they're not draining properly versus you were there to service a need that they needed. And by the way, if you're watching this video and you're interested in this position, if you're considering being a sales rep, you live here. If you see that person in the grocery store or wherever place you see them at in the town, you better know that you're telling the truth and you're a truthful guy. Yeah. If you're a car salesman and you sell a junk car to somebody promising it's the bee's knees, and that person is driving and the car breaks down, who's the first person they think of? That they bought a Subaru.
So be very careful about the words you use and how you speak, because the truth will prevail. Yes. And the bad deals will come back to haunt you. The good deals, even if you lose on them, will come back to be more fruitful. Mm-hmm. So it's just telling the truth, man.
Yeah. So you can make a lot. Point is, long story short, you can make a lot in this industry. Probably the most money that you've ever made.
Yeah. And the most fun you've ever had, the most growth you're going to have.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The challenge and the offset of that is you're going to work harder than any other job before.
Yeah.
You will go home, and I'm sure you've had this happen to you. You'll go home at night at 11 p.m. and you'll be like, oh, I got to text that customer. I got to remind that customer that this was that. You'll start to, you involve yourself in these customers' lives. You want to make sure they're taken care of, but I'll have times where I'm like, I got to reach out to this person, make sure I'm doing the right job, right thing. So.
But it's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun because it's a direct result from your hard work. In my previous job, I had to sell a certain amount of contracts per month. It was usually very high in order to make a good amount of money. And even the good amount of money was like 70 grand. It was like a really good compensated sales rep. But I had to sell hundreds of contracts in a month. And it's like, I don't feel the direct benefit of selling this customer something. In this job, it's addicting because you sell one contract and your percentage is multiplied on that, and you make that next Friday.
Yeah.
Bam.
And you talked about direct benefit to the customer.
Yeah.
I can remember, I think my first retail job was GNC. That's what it was.
Okay.
Selling supplements, nutrition supplements and all that stuff. And some of the things in the store, not to hate on GNC in any way, shape or form, but some of the supplements in the store I could tell were like good, holistic supplements that didn't have all that added, extra crap in it. And other of them, it was like, okay, you're marketing this based off an NFL football player, and the protein tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Like, that's great, but like, what's the laundry list of ingredients that are behind making it taste like Cinnamon Toast Crunch? Yeah. But it gets put to the front of the marketing, and they have these quotas, and they want you to sell this much and that and all this stuff. And so, being 18 at the time, you just step up, and that's what my boss wanted me to sell. So you just do it, and you do it.
Same with cell phones. They came out with cell phone launches, Noah, and
okay.
Sometimes the cell phones would be like, I remember specifically the Motorola Droid Max. It was a smartphone.
This isn't the Razr?
No, this is different? It looks like an iPhone, but it had like a very durable battery. But they were really pushing Motorola at the time because Motorola and Verizon had a partnership.
Okay.
And the phone we just knew was not very good. Uh-huh. And everybody wanted iPhone or Samsung, but we're kind of like coached to sell Motorola people. So it was like almost against customer satisfaction to sell this product. We're not doing that here.
Right.
We're going to sell quality products that people actually will last for decades to come. So we're constantly researching the market about what to sell to make the customers' lives better, easier, or more functional. Mm-hmm. So we're going to put you in a position to succeed. And we're going to give you materials to sell that are good quality things, not some garbage to make you money.
Yeah.
I have no interest in that.
Yeah. So like GNC or Motorola, for example, I mean, this is a whole different industry.
Mm-hmm.
If this person doesn't have a good roof over their head, all the things that we talked about earlier, what then?
That's right.
What are they going to do then?
And by the way, things go wrong in construction.
They can.
Your products that you sold at GNC are probably like, they go through several processes of like safety equipment and stuff. We actually have to install the product. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that product does not get installed perfectly every time. It's just nature of the business. You will have customers who will call you and say, hey, I have a leak here after the roof is done. But guess what? We're going to pick up, we're going to solve the problem, and help the customer out. So just know you have a back-end staff and our production staff that knows what they're doing and will finish the job correctly.
Yeah. It helps that we warranty everything too.
Warranty everything, man. Yeah, 10 years. Yeah.
That makes a huge difference in the industry.
It does.
Nothing's worse when you bought a house recently.
Yeah.
When you hire a contractor and then, just something doesn't go to plan. You're like, I can't get a hold of this guy. Or like, they said they had a warranty, but like, where's this warranty really? And
he's not talking to me. After the sale is over and I've paid the money, he's not answering his phone.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that.
Right.
I'm going to show up every time. We're going to take the gun or take the bullet and just take it to the chest sometimes, and you figure it out, solve the problem. Yeah. And sometimes the situations that don't go necessarily according to plan can be your best customers because you solve the problem fast, efficiently, and right on the money. So things will happen, and you're going to have to step up and sometimes take bullets, and the company will take bullets, but then you just push through, you solve the problem, and people are happier for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you would have never started Roof Tiger, do you think you would have sought out Roof Tiger and tried to work for him?
Man, yeah, for sure. I think that how I market, it's my personality, but I see us as fun, young, process and and like life learning type people. Every person I've recruited in this business has a similar mindset.
Yeah.
And it's fun to be around people that want to improve their lives, man, because they will, and you will.
Yeah.
So it's all about.
Yeah. Well, you guys got me.
You got you.
Sure.
Yeah, you going.
I came through the door. You didn't even come find me. I came to you.
And we need more Noah Sepiches in the world.
Yeah.
And so we need more Noah Sepiches at Roof Tiger, and we need to build a culture that's worth a dang. And to have people walk through the store that are willing to give and take and learn and grow and be a part of us. Yeah. I'm not just hiring employees, man. I'm hiring my friends. Mm-hmm. I want you to be my friend. Mm-hmm. And I don't just say that facetiously. I want to go out to dinner and learn about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to invest in my people so they know that I generally care.
Yeah.
Many times, for my previous boss, there were people who didn't have very much money, and my boss was always very adamant that if somebody needed a forward on a paycheck, I watched them do it many times when we were low on capital.
Which job are you talking about?
This is my bathroom business.
Bathroom business,
and
okay.
I just learned a lot by watching. And anytime somebody needed money for like somebody got his teeth refinished because his teeth were all junk, and somebody had to buy a wedding ring for their wife, didn't have it. Can I get a forward on my paycheck? Every time my boss would say, absolutely, yes, I'll take care of you. I learned from that. And it's like they're willing to bend and help in those times where people need it. And in corporations, you just simply can't do that. Mm-hmm. So we're a local business with real people that are wanting to help you grow. That's it.
So August 2020.
August 2025 will be 5 years in business. Yes, that was the official LLC date. I started working on Roof Tiger in March of 2020. So about 6 months of prep work before I actually started the business. But I created the logo with a friend of mine, and created the logo, the name. Essentially, I took everything in the roofing industry, sought out what was wrong in the roofing industry, and then did the exact opposite. So,
where were you specifically at that time?
I was in Peoria.
You were in Peoria?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was living in my parents' basement. I just gotten divorced in 2019, and I was living in my parents' basement, had nothing, was upside down, had $120,000 in debt.
Wow.
And essentially came to my parents. I had a whiteboard. I bought a whiteboard for $20 off Facebook Marketplace. Still have it to this day.
Love it.
Charted out the kind of customer journey of what a customer would see as we worked the process. And I said, Mom and Dad, I want to start a business, and this is my idea, and I want to push forward with all our might. My parents, I give them a lot of credit. They didn't see me as a crazy person. They saw me as legitimate. And once we started, there was just no stopping. And once I started the business, Noah, I was shocked at the amount of people that started reaching out to me. Can you help me? Can you help me?
Was this mostly on like Facebook?
Facebook.
Okay.
Can you help me? I have a situation. I'm like, yeah, I'll do anything. I'm willing to help. I'm willing to do it.
Yeah.
So when you start a business, you're kind of beholden to whoever calls you because you have no customers. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, I'll do anything. And that's when the learning process truly began. It's kind of, I'm speaking to a person who knows nothing about contracting. People will just call you and be like, can you help me with this? And you might not know the answer, but guess what happens after you solve that problem?
You do it again.
You learn.
Yeah.
You learn.
Yeah. And
you apply to the next job and the next job and the next job. And guess what? You might trip up and fall. It's okay. Keep going. Keep going. I tell my sales reps all the time, and the only way you lose is when you quit. When you fail, you'll fail forward and you'll get better from it. I will never criticize someone for making a mistake ever. Good. Good. You made a mistake? Fantastic. Where did you learn from it? How are we going to apply that to the next customer and the next 100 customers? And having that mindset of constant growth, you will not fail. Yeah. I believe that because I've lived it.
Version 2.0.
That's it.
Version 3.0.
That's it.
Version 4.0.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. I will never criticize for making a mistake. We just keep moving forward and we solve it. Yeah. So that's the solution, man, is this is a life. This is a life that I personally want to build for myself, but also every person who's in my platoon. Mm-hmm. I want to make sure they're growing just in the same pace as me, and attack life with vigor and ferocity. That we're growing as people and as employees together.
Well, you heard it here first.
That's it.
Right.
That's it.
Tiger
so welcome
Talk.
to Tiger Den. Welcome to Roof Tiger. Come be with us, guys.
If you are looking for family-oriented, not overly corporate-y, but still big enough to have a support staff, a support team, all the backings you're looking for, you feel like there's more for you. You've maybe tried out some other jobs or maybe school or, even if you do have a college degree or military, any of these different sectors of life, and you're just wanting more.
Mm-hmm. Welcome. Once you discover this industry, you won't want to be away from it because it's something that is unlike any industry on the planet. And for young people specifically, I love working with 20-year-olds because making six figures in this world is hard. I didn't make six figures until I was in my 30s. Actually, I was late 20s. But I was chasing that forever. And I couldn't find it in corporate jobs unless I wanted to do something ridiculous, right? This is actually pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. Get contracts, make money, do it again. So if that's you, come be with us and interview with this company, and I'm happy to meet you.
Yeah. And if you have the mindset of being a servant, a servant, if you care, you will do well.
That's it.
You will do well. Well, thank you, Ben.
Love it, Noah. Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.